We've been preparing for this event for a long time. It's exciting to see that many registrations. And just as a bit of a background, this event builds on a previous event that we had roughly 2 years ago, where we did a very similar session, but focused a lot on research and development. So in that stage, we had slightly over 20 speakers from 13 countries, talk to the same amount of people from 24 countries. So we're kind of following the same methodology on sharing the great insights related to this really interesting topic with all of you. So this wouldn't be possible without all the farmers, service providers, and researchers that will be sharing their insights today. So once again, thank you very much for that. As Tori said, my name is Nicolas Lyons, and I'm the leader dairy for New South Wales DPI. I'm the project leader for Milking Edge. That is a 3.5-year project funded by Dairy Australia, New South Wales DPI, and De Laval. The project is coming to an end at the end of the year. So this is kind of one of our wrap-up events as we get towards the end of the year. So our first speaker today, I would like to invite John Penry. John is the Manager for Technical and Innovation for Dairy Australia, to join me here today to have a chat on his vision on the topic and a bit of Dairy Australia's perspective on their long-term investment into AMS in the industry. John has a wealth of knowledge and experience that will be well known for many of you in the industry, but he also did his PhD in the US working with AMS. So he's not only passionate about the topic, but has a lot of wealth of experience in it. So John, it's great to have you here today. Welcome to this first kind of mini session launching into the AMS Farm Showcase. How's everything on your end?
Good morning, Nico. I'm very well, thank you. And good morning to everyone who's gathered around what has become the new normal for everyone, isn't it? We no longer meet in rooms, we meet in virtual rooms. So it's fantastic to be here today. And thank you very much to yourself and the Milking Edge team for inviting me. I was thinking this morning about how should we start a session off, or how should we start the day off here? And I kept coming back to a historical perspective of milk harvesting. One of the things which is a little known fact, I think, is that the basic premise of how milk harvesting, modern milk harvesting works with a twin chambered teacup or a liner and a shell, using vacuum to extract milk. That piece of technology was invented, part of it in Australia, in the 1890s, not the 1900s, the 1800s, the late 1800s. And basically all the way through different sorts of milking technology, right up to AMS, we're still using the same fundamental physical principles. So that's kind of remarkable in one sense. But we really took a leap in 1992. So when the first AMS units were introduced commercially in the Netherlands in 1992, which was essentially the start of my working career. You know, it's 30 years ago now. So here you have a new piece of technology arrive into the dairy landscape. And there's a couple of really unique things that I reckon are always worth reflecting on that alter the way automatic milking systems work compared to conventional milking. And they are, it's a true quarter milking device. So you're not aggregating the milk in a bowl immediately underneath the 4 teats. You've truly got quarter milking with control of when milking starts and stops at the quarter level. So that's the first thing, a really sort of revolutionary idea. The second thing that occurred is just the consistency of routine from these devices. So you know that once the device learns where the teats are for an individual cow, not only does the device remember them, but the application of the routine is completely consistent. So unlike some of the variability that you can see with humans doing the milking, these machines do the same thing in the same water for the same length of time every time. So that consistency of the milk harvesting process is one of the other fundamental changes. The other thing, of course, is that these machines are information gathering behemoths when it comes to recording information about individual cows and individual cows down to the quarter level as well. So having the ability to use this information to enhance how you put a herd together and milk it over multiple seasons is not to be sneezed at. And I suppose the final thing is that this is a technology that's here to stay. So when you think about what's been published around the world, around the number of milking units, we're now sitting at north of 38,000 boxes scattered around the world, both in pasture-based systems, but also, predominantly in house systems. And when you do the maths, that's the equivalent of milking about 2.4 million cows around the world with an AMS unit. And for comparison and contrast, currently we think there's about 1.4 million cows in Australia. So you've got the equivalent around the world of milking more than the entire dairy cow population of Australia. And that's what we're milking with this technology around the world. I was really fortunate a number of years ago during my midlife crisis, as my wife likes to call it, when I went back to university. And I was really fortunate. I got to work with at that stage, one of the largest AMS dairies anywhere in the world. It was in Pennsylvania, called Mason-Dixon Dairies, a remarkable operation, 20 units in the one shed, milking 1,100 cows per day. Overcoming all these sort of logistical challenges you can imagine by going and taking an AMS to that extent, that many boxes over a very, very large shed. Interestingly enough, one of the oldest dairy farms in the Northern Hemisphere, well, certainly in the United States, the 9th generation was working there when I was exposed to the farm. So it really gave me a great insight into how much this technology can be applied in ways that weren't even imagined when it first arrived on the scene back in 1992. And you can imagine as well, back in 1992 and the early 90s, that the application of this technology successfully onto pasture-based dairy farms probably wasn't thought of as well, and yet here we are. So from Dairy Australia's perspective, the idea that we should invest communal levy funds into helping to enhance this technology for Australian farmers, quite frankly, was a no-brainer. This is a milk harvesting technology that's here to stay. It's here to help support farms that don't want to deploy their workforce day to day by doing conventional milking. And with the cooperation of the project partners, which is New South Wales DPI and also de Lavelle, I've been thrilled to see what the Milking Edge project has brought to us. So, congratulations to Nico and the team, Juan and Jess and Tori. For those of you that are going to get exposed to Juan's material down the track as part of today, an exceptional body of research work as part of the Milking Edge project. So I'm really thrilled to sign off with this sort of kickoff, if you like, for the event now. Nico's put a great program together with the team, and it's exciting to see from a person who is into milk harvesting in all sorts of ways over a career. I'm just thrilled to see the program unfold today. So thanks everyone for listening to this opening gambit, and on we go into the wonderful world of milking robots and AMS. Thanks, Nico.
Perfect, John. Look, thank you very much for that. A very good introduction. I think you've covered a couple of things that are really important and tie very well to the program that we've pulled together for this event. On the one hand is that it's not a new technology, it's been around for a long time. That the level of management and insight it allows the farmers and understanding of cows in the system is enormous. So we'll try to tap into that with the speakers today. And also the diversity of systems where this operates. So I think you've covered those things that we've tried to untap with the program that we've pulled together. But I also want to particularly thank Dairy Australia's commitment and support for the long term for the investment of the Australian dairy industry, for for enabling things like this to happen. It wouldn't be possible otherwise. So again, I want to thank you on behalf of the Milking Edge project and team for all the support that we've received.
Pleasure, Nico. Absolute pleasure.
No worries, John.
Good luck.
So with that, excellent. Thank you very much.